Dueling Dinos. When the dinos get to dueling, you and your fellow Cave Clan members love to get together and wager on which dinos are the strongest. So here we see a basic setup for Dueling Dinos. Here's your 18 card deck. We've already dealt each player 3 cards. Each player now antes 1 coin between each of these cards. This is your stable of dinosaurs. You will be flipping these cards and they will be doing head-to-head duels. The winner of each duel takes the coins. You can play a number of rounds or up to a time limit or until one player can no longer ante 3 coins. So at the start of the duel, each player will get to look at one of the cards. So I will take a card here and look at it without showing my opponent. You can see here it has an effect on here where I can bribe by giving my opponent a coin when I flip this card to get a +2. I could give him 2 coins to get +4. Or when my opponent dealt, I went first, so I got to look first, and then my opponent will say, oh, I'm going to look at the same one opposite. He sees that this card is not that good. It's a 5 versus a 1. So he dealt. Now we flip a card face up, and I go first, and I get to choose if I want to take this card that was just flipped face up, or take a chance at one of the cards that's face down, and I can then replace any of my 3 cards without looking at them. So I can say, oh, we'll take this one. So my opponent now knows I took a 3, and I'm going to replace this card with it, giving up another 3. And now my opponent, he knows what was here, but he doesn't know what's under either of these, so he can choose to take this or not. And let's just say he takes this one, and we're not even going to look at it. We're just going to flip it out here, because I wouldn't know this information. And now I'm going to knock. Okay, knock, knock. The player that knocks doesn't take a turn. They just knock. And their opponent has one final turn. He may take this card that's face up. May take the face down card and replace one of his 3 cards. Or he may swap any 2 of his cards here if he thinks that it'll give him an advantage. So if he saw me take this one, and let's say he knew that this was a card that would definitely beat it, he might swap these 2 cards. So now I knocked. He'll do his turn. He's going to take this card and he's just going to swap it out with this one. Ooh. And I knocked, so I will get to flip first. So I will flip this one first. It's a 2 versus... Let's shuffle that back in. 2 versus a 2. I gain +2 for each face-up card of the same clan. There are none. This green dinosaur wins on a tie, so he would take these 2 coins. The loser of the duel gets to flip next, having advantage. I will flip this 2 versus this 1. And this one says, replace a face-down card with the top card of the draw deck. Do not look at the card. So I can, as this player, I know I'm going to lose this duel, so I can take this card at the top and I can just swap out this card. Let's see what I lost. I lost a 3. I don't know what I gained from it. So I won this duel, and now my opponent's going to play first. He's going to flip this card. He gets a 3. And he swapped me out. He swapped out a 3 that would have actually stayed a 3, and he would have won for a 4, and I will win that duel. So that is the end of that duel. So at the start of our next duel, each player again has dealt 3 cards face down. And we ante again. And this time I dealt. So we will flip this card face up for my opponent, and we'll each get a chance to look. I'm going to look at this card, and he'll look at one of those. And then we would continue play like this until there was a winner. So here we have the basic setup for a 3-player game. Each player again antes 3 coins. However, they place 1 in front of each of these corner cards. And each player antes to the center, which will actually be a duel between these 3 cards. So let's say I knocked. I will play first. I'm just going to head and start. I'm going to start with this one. So the corner cards duel against each other, and this player right here the 3rd player would be out of this duel. So I will duel here with this one. he will win this duel. And now the loser of the duel gets to choose. So I will choose to duel here. Let's say I win this duel. He gets to replace a face down card. So he's going to replace this one with this one, something like that. He lost, so now he'll just flip and see what he got. He got a card that gains when he gets the advantage against this card. So the card he got actually does something interesting. This card has advantage, draw 3 cards and add their values together. So what he'll do is he'll draw 3 of these cards and just add their total value. So 2, 0, and 1. So he only gets a 3, he loses to a 4. And finally, he lost, so he will flip this card. It is a 2 against a 4 against a 2. Let's see, this one, he may bribe someone, give an opponent a token to get +2. But he would still lose in a tie here. So he will just lose, and blue player will take all 3 tokens. And there we have it. That's how the 3-player round would be played.